Hello everybody, I'm Peter Globe and today I'm going to make a Word of Remnant video on Faunus in RWBY. Now first thing, before we start, I do not own any of these images. All of them belong to Rooster because they have the ownership of RWBY. And with that said, let's get on with this video. Now, before we go into what this video is at the end going to be the most important focusing thing on, let's go a little things through the Faunuses and how much we know. Now, it's not any secret, it's not that much if I'm totally honest at you people. Not that much. It's not been confirmed if Faunuses have been the first dominant species, or how they came, or if they're the second, or if they were the last one to come on Remnant. And the reason for that being is because we know that that Grimm came before humans, and humans came after Grimm, but for the Faunuses, no idea. We have no idea if the God of Light has created Faunuses and the first, and then they create, and then he and his brother created humanity, which would be kind of racist by Crow and Aspen to basically not to consider the perfect beings being humanity. So I'm gonna assume that that's not the case. But even though we really should be taught how Faunuses came to being, if Crow's already going to explain how Grimm and humans came, or maybe it's going to be revealed later. I mean, if they're going to have up to volume 12, they eventually could reveal it. Hell, maybe it's going to be revealed in Valkyrie as far as we know. Or hell, maybe instead of immediately going to Atlas, we're gonna be spending some time in Mistral, and then some of those cultures we might learn something. Who knows really? Or hell, maybe they'll even release a Word of Remnant video explain that. I don't exactly know, but it would kind of be nice to tell us. Now, although we don't exactly know where they came, but we do know how they are being treated as. So, first time humans encounter Faunuses, apparently they thought they were demons or Grimm or something like that. I don't exactly know. I'm pretty sure they were calling them demons or something. Which is somewhat understandable. I mean, if the first thing I would see is a guy with horns or a scorpion tail or wings, I wouldn't exactly call him be completely calm to be, alright thing with him. So it's kind of making sense. But for some strange reason, after that time of the fear, they came to using them as slave labor and consider them weaker beings. I don't exactly know how did they get that weaker beings perspective, because I'm pretty sure some Faunuses are born with super strength and unnatural speed. And considering the fact that they are flying Faunuses, I'm pretty sure there are also Faunuses that can fly. There are multiple Faunuses that can fly, and Crow stated that they are Faunuses that can grow their body limbs back, so I don't exactly know. But besides all that, that whole races and all that thing that form the white thing. Anything else of the processes is pretty blurred, to be fair. And before you say, I don't give a crap on how they reproduce, because to be fair, we could kinda assume all that anyway, so nothing really new. But in the story right now, the only ones that really matter the Faunus kind are Blake, Adam, and Tyrion. There might be a Faunus introduced in the meantime later that will be even bigger in the story than Blake. Well, not Blake, bigger than, let's say, Tyrion. I'm sorry for you Tyrion fans, it's just that it's kinda hard to say specifically. But for now it's just these three that will be, you have quite a good convenience in the stories. The next ones are Ilya, who I'm guessing may or may not be in the next volume. Son, who I feel like he doesn't really need to be in the next volume. Lionheart, who died. Velvet, and is probably not going to appear unless it is gonna be a final battle, war thing. Maybe she'll appear in a background or something. There are also Blake's parents, Gira and Carly, who I'm guessing are gonna be busy with Mistral, so not much from them I'm not expecting. And from the White Fang, I feel like they kinda went through all of them, so I don't think it would be immediately new thing coming. So probably not. And considering the fact that all the other ones like Albino Twins, Yuma and Trifa are in prison somewhere and the guards are probably guarding them, let's not say there's going to be a big Faunus thing going on. So yeah, that's pretty much all that with the Faunuses that's going on right now in them. But now let's discuss what their story is significant. And it's a story significant really being basically how Salem, Atlas, and Aspen view the Faunuses. Legitimately, I could make like a billion videos around this, like a separate video on everyone's viewing of Faunuses. I mean, I'm pretty sure that it could be like at least 2 minutes long. But let's just go through these main ones. Let's go through the kingdoms first. Now, Mistral had a haven, had a headmaster that was a Faunus Lionheart, so... And consider the fact that we saw the whole no Faunus is not allowed sign, I can assume that they are the main ones who've been throughout the years the most, even though what Atlas has now changed, but still. I'm guessing that since Mistral, unless if it's going to be like after Salem Falls, or maybe there's going to be a volume in between Atlas and Valkyrie, I don't think Mistral is going to get much for the Faunuses right now. Then there's of course Atlas, who honestly could go on with Ironwood and Papa Schnee, but let's just say everybody in Atlas views Faunuses as the inferior race, because I don't know. I mean, there are Faunuses in Atlas. I mean, Neon Cat and Ilya are the best two example, but since Neon Cat was probably just I guess just there to at least imply there are gonna be other strong fun. There are going to be Faunuses in Atlas Academy or something like that, but outside that, not much. And Ilya kinda ran, so it's not much. Anyway, to Vale and Valkyrie. For now, we don't exactly know for Valkyrie anything about the Faunuses. Apparently, it's been the place that Faunuses have the best treatment, which could be their kind of rule, and if you're strong enough to survive, you're as great as everybody else, or something like that. And they'll accept the whole thing with those two police guards saying, "Do you think White Fang was the one that stole it?" That I don't think it was anything else. So for the kingdoms, two of them are still being racist and quite mean to the Faunuses, or brutal, and the other two are kinda hard to say specifically. But now let's get to the four main ones, or at least two who are going to be more important in the next volume, and probably the one after that. Who knows, maybe even 3 volumes. And then of course being Papa Schnee and Ironwood. Now, for Papa Schnee, it's basically been established that he sees them weak. He states that they are getting the same pay grade as everybody else, but that could just mean that they're all the Faunuses that work in those mines of his actually get the same pay grade and not humans. Who knows, as far as we know, humans might just be patrolling everything to make sure that everything is run sleek and clean, while the Faunuses actually do the whole mining thing. So it's pretty go about saying that Papa Schnee is racist. And before you people say Whitley hasn't interacted or mentioned Faunuses or anything about them, so the only thing he really did was smile when his father said that they're getting equal pay grade. Honestly, there's no reason to hate Whitley about the whole Faunus thing anyway. And also, you people are aware Whitley's not gonna be the main discussion, right? So, of every single Papa Schnee hate video, right? So besides Papa Schnee, let's go now to Ironwood. Although it's also hard to say with Ironwood what he is viewing on Faunuses. I mean, he didn't exactly state any hate or saying them weak or anything like that so far. Hell, we don't exactly know how Papa Schnee's company works in his eyes. I mean, as far as we know, he probably doesn't even know how he treats the Faunuses. So yeah, it's pretty hard to say for him specifically. But for everything else, but we can also assume that he doesn't really trust Faunuses that much, considering the fact that every single guard we see there, well, human guards are just humans. I mean, not one had like a one Faunus trait. I mean, granted, it could just be the animation thing and the whole, army thing. I mean, as far as we know, there could be Faunuses there, but so far we haven't seen one, so it's kind of hard to say with him specifically. And considering Cat really seems to trust him a lot, I'm guessing he doesn't really view Faunuses as inferior or something. But now to the two main ones, that being Salem and Ospen. I feel like Salem actually respects Faunuses more than Ospen. I mean, granted, we didn't see anything to reinforce that fact, but considering the fact that only real harm she's probably did to Tyrion was after she realized he failed to kill Crow, and she still gave Tyrion fix his tail, and she just said she was disappointed in him. We can assume that she's not that bad and considering Faunuses. and she and Liz bother to learn Ciala Khan's name and not just have every single thing said Adam's going to tell you every detail, we can assume at very least that she doesn't exactly have any kind of a gripe against Faunus. It's not like we need to kill them all or something. Hell, she's more like we need to kill all humans, to be fair. So yeah, it's kinda hard to say specifically with her. But we can assume at least so far that she's not exactly the one that hates Faunus. I cannot say so much about our dear Aspen if I'm totally honest. Alright, granted, again, he's also kinda hard to read specifically, and hell, he just was very disappointed in Lionheart when he found out that Lionheart's a traitor, so you can also say that he and Sin are sorta in the equal. But since it's never been really stated by either Raven or Crow, namely Raven to be fair, that Aspen ever was like a little bit suspicious and them, like he was at Blake in second volume when he had that talk with her, when he basically said to her, if I found out anything like you worked for them or anything that policeman would be arrestable, I will take you to the authorities myself personally or something like that. Seriously, Aspen was quite, honestly, when I saw that scene, I was kinda expecting him to just grab his cane and put it at front of her throat to get that direct eyesight from her, not to have it down or something. I mean, I know that didn't happen, but I was just expecting that to be the thing that Aspen does. So that's basically the main one. And again, he was very disappointed in Lionheart when he found out that, but maybe he just, didn't thought someone would betray him like Lionheart. Or maybe Lionheart was at first very loyal and very brave, but then he began to act weird. But then he became, we don't exactly know. Yeah, weirdly Aspen doesn't really do much. And considering the fact that if he really wants to stop Salem, he should probably help Faunus the most. Seriously, who gives a crap if you're going to have the perfect team to take down Salem if you do not have, everything like, do not be racist against Faunus if we are gonna die thing through. It's again kinda hard to say. And also, he didn't exactly, plus we don't exactly know, but what does he think of Faunus directly anyway? I mean, if that story of the gods that he says is actually true, the two who actually do exist, then why doesn't the story seem to include Faunus that he told? Or hell, why doesn't he, why doesn't he anything? Aspen keeps a lot of secrets, but the main secret I personally feel like we should find out is how he reacts to Faunus more. Who knows? Maybe who knows? For now. Although I do have a theory that there might be a third immortal being, because Salem seems to be immortal and Aspen is immortal. So maybe we're gonna get an immortal Faunus. That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. I hope you're gonna leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of you people next time. Bye, and don't forget to vote for Wilhelmina. No.